So, I was at this pub trying to finish up my writing, which was way over the deadline, when I caught this random strange man looking at my direction. At first, he raised his whiskey glass and he nodded. So in return, I raised mine and I smiled. Fuck. First mistake. And then he smiled as he continued to stare. But to be honest, somehow his sparkling eyes intrigued me. Based on his looks, I would say he was in his 40s. But then again, he could be in his late 30s as well. You know, like how white guys look older than their real age, right? So I was trying to make sense of this whole staring thing. And the next day, I realized he jumped off his seat and he was walking towards my direction. Fuck. I tried to calm my face, yet I stole a few glances. I just want to see how he looks like. He looks a bit British. Oh, I wonder if he has a British accent though. Fuck, what the fuck is wrong with me? Forget him, focus on your work. I had to keep reminding myself. And then out of nowhere, I heard this deep, strong voice saying hi. No, hi. He introduced himself as David, and David asked if he could sit next to me. Now, I should have told him to get the fuck away, right? Yeah. Instead, I ended up forcing a smile. Not a friendly one, just a polite one. And I said, hi, David. You don't sound British at all. Yeah, what the fuck? I couldn't believe those words were coming out of my mouth. I mean, that was the weirdest shit I had ever said to anybody in my life. But then, in my moments of embarrassment, I heard a reply. Of course I don't sound British, I'm Irish. Ah. And then he sat next to me. You know, strangely, David began scanning me. You know, he was looking at my neck, then my body. He was looking at my arms, my legs, oh fuck. Perhaps this will be the best time for me to say, David, I'm so sorry, I don't go that way. I mean, I could understand his attraction towards me, but fuck no. This is so. But before I could say anything and set things straight, David said those three words that were music to my ears. Love your tattoos. So he came over because he likes my tattoos. Now we're talking. You know, David kept staring at this whale tattoo on my left forearm. He said he's intrigued to know the meaning behind it. And at that moment, I had waves of emotion crashing over me. The thing is, I'd never told anybody about this whale tattoo in my life. And now to share it with a random stranger, I don't know, just feels weird, you know? But then I said, fuck it. So I asked David if he had heard of the 52 Hertz whale. Have you? No, really, have you?
No.
I'll explain. Now, the 52 Hertz whale is known to be the loneliest animal in the world. You see, whales, right? They are social creatures, which means they travel in groups. So, to communicate or to find one another, whale uses some sort of noise that sometimes we may call as songs or calls. Now, for every other whale, typically, the call is at 10 to 40 Hertz. But for this one particular whale, the call is at 52 Hertz. Do you know what that means? Well, that means that the rest of the whales will never be able to hear the call of this particular whale. It's like this 52 Hertz whale could be swimming in the deep blue sea and have its sound travel halfway across the ocean. But no matter how far the sound goes, no other whale would be able to hear the call of this particular whale. Now imagine existing in this big world and having only a handful of people who may be able to hear your lonely cry. Or none at all. My parents used to tell me that I had a way of communicating, so honest and forward. So much so that I'd often confuse people. So my mother said, when I'm around my family, I can be utterly honest, because your family don't judge you, right? But when I'm out there in the real world, I have to be careful, she said. People don't always give each other the benefit of doubt. They may twist your words or take you for granted. Honestly, I never really understood what she meant until it was a bit too late. See, I spent years growing into my adulthood while setting up my own company. And once my company was formed, I trusted my best friends with my company matters. Unfortunately, they betrayed my trust. And you know, they claimed my honesty and forwardness too much to handle, so they made pact with other business partners to throw me out of my own company. And there goes all of my hard work gone just like that. My heart at that point could not accept this betrayal. I was alone. I felt misunderstood. I was depressed, actually. No one around me understood why. No one around me, understood why I was so frustrated all the time. People were just quick to point fingers to say, it was all your fault. You should have known better. Right? And that's pretty much how I lost most of my friends. They just didn't get me. Sometimes I feel like I had to filter myself all the time just so that people weren't offended with me. But then I said, okay, fine, I can do that. It's cool because, I still have my parents, right? They know me, they understood me, they accepted me just the way I am. And then I lost both my parents. And my world crashed. So there was I, alone. I was the 52 hertz wave. No one would ever hear my calls. So, what do you think of the story? Pathetic, right? David didn't think so. In fact, he said both the image and the story behind it were beautiful. He then reached out to my left forearm. He brushed his thumb across my tattoo. Fuck, I froze. The coldness of his hand sent chills down my spine. I could no longer think or react. Fuck David. Now perhaps this is why children of the world have been reminded for generations, do not speak with strangers. Clearly to avoid scenarios like this. So to balance out this melodramatic moment, I burst out to say something completely unnecessary. David, after this tattoo, I even got my left chest tattoo. I will tell you the pain was sweet, but no. Oh, friendly reminder though, never tattoo your nipples. David cracked a laugh. He then leaned forward. He kissed my forehead. and he thanked me for sharing my story. David then took out a pen, he wrote his number on a coaster, and David left. You know, now that I think about it, maybe the universe had its own plan in bringing us together. Maybe David and I were just two lonely souls who've been out there calling, hoping that somewhere someone would hear us. And halfway across the world, in a noisy pub in Penang, we found each other. I still have the coaster with his number on it, you know. I just don't know what to do with it. See, the thing is, I've been this 52 hertz whale for the longest time in my life. Perhaps that's the only way I know how to be. It's been peaceful, but sometimes awfully lonely. So what do you think I should do? What do you think I should do? Should I call him? And what happens then? See, the question is, what if David wants something from me that I could never give him? Or worse, what if I want to give him everything that he needs? What happens then? I don't know. I really don't.
Well, I hear tell you're doing well, good things have come to you. I wish I had your happiness. You had to do, I could 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 do. They tell me you're running free, your days are never blue. Well, I wish I had your good luck charm, and you had to do, I could 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 do. I see you going down the street in your big Cadillac, you got girls in the front and got girls in the back, yeah, the wind.